He deliberately drew a misshapen circle, then tossed it to the floor. He drew another one just as poorly and discarded it as well. It looked like Kaiji's hands were trembling, but in reality he was setting up a cheat. Moments ago, Kaiji had caught a glimpse of the cardboard box on the floor. A daring idea flashed through his mind. He picked up the scraps of paper scattered on the ground and carefully tucked them into the side slits of the box. The paper was perfectly wedged inside the box. No matter how much it was shaken, the slip wouldn't budge or reveal itself. Yet it could be easily retrieved from the inside. A flawless setup, leaving Kaiji absolutely ecstatic, for he had finally found a way to defeat the chairman. His words left his companions utterly bewildered. Meanwhile, Kaiji produced a piece of stiff tissue paper. He tore it into several small squares. He then borrowed a ballpoint pen from the companion behind him and drew a circle on one of the paper squares. Just like that, he had created a makeshift winning slip. Exactly, Kaiji intended to challenge the chairman to a lottery draw, except his chance of winning would be 100 because they could hide rigged slips in the sides of the boxes beforehand. This way, no matter which box the bodyguard prepared, there would be a slip hidden inside by them. He would just pull it out when it was his turn, winning the gamble effortlessly. His companion whispered, "Wait, isn't that just cheating?" But Kaiji immediately snapped back at him, "To hell with that. Who gives a damn about cheating? The other side has done far worse. You not only killed so many of our comrades, but even my own ear was sliced off. If I hadn't seen through their tricks, I'd likely be dead right now with a drill through my skull. So I don't care what it takes, I'm going to win."
In the end, it all comes down to this gamble. The showdown between Kaiji and the chairman begins. Although Kaiji's reasoning was sound, his companion raised another concern. What if the chairman draws the winning ticket right away? Wouldn't you be handing him your life on a silver platter?
Hearing this, Kaiji insisted that it was impossible, claiming the odds of that happening were slim to none. Besides, how could they let such a small risk deter them and pass up such a golden opportunity? With Kaiji's foolproof plan in place, the group began their intensive preparations. While they were stuffing the winning tickets into the cardboard box, they addressed every potential problem that cropped up. To ensure the hidden tickets wouldn't be discovered, they had one person stay behind to hide in the restroom. When the bodyguards came in to collect some of the boxes, he would flush the remaining evidence down the toilet. This way the chairman would find no proof of foul play. After finishing the setup, Kaiji returned to the room. Chairman remarked that he was quite a formidable young man, having actually managed to best Tonagawa in a gamble. But before Kaiji could leave, the chairman demanded he settle his previous 6 million yen debt. Unexpectedly, Kaiji crumpled the bill and stepped right up to the chairman, demanding one more round. He knew that, after paying the debt and the medical bills for his ear, little would remain of the 20 million prize, so he wanted to gamble again to win a real fortune. The chairman was dismissive. "A small fry like you, how can you possibly be worthy of betting against me? I've seen my fair share of high stakes. You should be grateful for winning 20 million. Act arrogant in front of me again, and I'll have you thrown into the sea to feed the fish." With that, the chairman turned to leave, but Kaiji grabbed him the very next second, using reverse psychology to goad him into the gamble. However, the chairman was far too shrewd, sensing that Kaiji might be hiding a trap, and he adamantly refused to take the bait. Faced with the chairman's evasion, Kaiji's blood began to boil. This old monster had cost so many lives, and now he thought he could just walk away. How could justice be so elusive?
Stars are aligned.
Seeing Kaiji's sheer persistence, the chairman decided to indulge him just this once. He gave Kaiji the freedom to choose the game, and while Kaiji feigned hesitation, he was inwardly ecstatic. He had the bodyguards fetch paper and a pair of compasses, then began preparing slips of paper, drawing circles on them to serve as the winning tickets. But he intentionally drew a circle lopsided and threw it onto the floor, then did it again, discarding another failed attempt. It looked like his hands were trembling, but in reality he was setting his trap. Kaiji had already hidden the real winning ticket in the box to avoid detection during an inspection. He had to use this elaborate ruse to cover his tracks. His plan was to shake the box violently in a staged celebration once he drew the winner, causing all the paper slips to scatter across the room. In that chaos, the real winning ticket would blend in with the decoys on the floor, achieving the perfect camouflage for his deception. While Kaiji painstakingly constructed his path to victory, he also had to masterfully mask his true intentions, lest the cunning chairman see right through him. After an agonizingly long preparation, he finally finalized his props, a mountain of blank slips and a single winning ticket. He stated that the first person to find the winning ticket inside would be the winner. Saying this, the chairman ordered his bodyguards to bring a container, but they only brought a plastic bag and a briefcase. The bag was transparent and could be seen through at a glance, while the briefcase belonged to them who knew what kind of tricks might be hidden inside.
It's here!
In response to this, Kaiji suggested using a tissue box as the container but insisted it must be unopened. The bodyguards had no choice but to fetch one from the restroom, and all of this was exactly as he had anticipated. He had already tampered with the tissue boxes in the restroom beforehand. Kaiji fined a careful inspection of the box, then asked the chairman to check it as well once both sides confirmed it was clean. The bodyguard emptied all the tissues, leaving only an empty box. Just when it seemed everything was going according to plan, the chairman suddenly proposed 3 conditions. First, to prevent cheating, the paper lots must not be crumpled into balls, and both must roll up their sleeves before drawing. They were to check each other for any foreign objects hidden between their fingers. Second, the chairman demanded to draw first. As soon as he said this, Kaiji's companions protested. They argued that the order should be decided by rock, paper, scissors. To this, the chairman argued that he had already agreed to all of Kaiji's terms. He felt entitled to a small privilege as an elder. He threatened to call off the game entirely if he wasn't allowed to go first. Kaiji began to hesitate upon hearing this, but thinking the old man couldn't possibly be that lucky, he decisively agreed to the chairman's demand. However, the third condition struck Kaiji with absolute terror. His 20 million in chips isn't even enough to challenge the chairman. A wager worthy of the chairman must be at least 100 million. Since he's short on cash, he must stake his own organs to cover the difference. Just then, a bodyguard approached the table with a mysterious object. When the chairman pulled back the cloth, what lay beneath made everyone gasp in horror.
If you lose, you must cover the 80 million deficit, Kaiji-kun. That would be 4 your fingers. The finger stakes this time would be human fingers. But of course, the greater the risks, the higher the reward.
Bodyguards wheeled in a massive mountain of cash. No vouchers like at the Brave Men's Road. This is cold, hard cash, staring at a sum of money he could never earn in several lifetimes. Intense greed begins to consume Kaiji's soul. But the thought of losing 4 fingers instantly snaps Kaiji back from the abyss of desire. If he loses, he'll lose more than just his fingers and the prize. He'll be crushed by agonizing pain and insurmountable debt. Even if he walks away, 20 million won't leave him with much after clearing his debts. On a measly salary, he'd never see 100 million in his entire life. Ultimately, after weighing the risks, Kaiji accepts the chairman's terms. Kaiji, I'll show you the hope of this world. Now for the summary. Having been toyed with by the elites repeatedly, Kaiji is desperate to strike back at these oppressors, show them what the trash at the bottom is capable of, and finally avenge his fallen comrades. He has rigged the game, ensuring a 100 win rate in this lottery gamble, while meticulously camouflaging his tracks. He is certain that his plan is foolproof. Unbeknownst to him, the chairman had seen through his scheme long ago. As a seasoned gambler, he initially displayed total indifference, but after being goaded by Kaiji, he suddenly agreed. In reality, he was merely testing Kaiji's true intentions. From the moment Kaiji repeatedly rejected the containers, the chairman knew he was up to something. He deliberately raised the stakes to 100 million yen, demanding that Kaiji wager his own body parts as collateral. This wasn't just a game of money, it was an assault on both the body and mind. By flaunting the cash alongside cutting tools, the chairman stoked Kaiji's greed and fear, forcing him into making irrational decisions. The chairman's terms seemed fair, but they were a calculated way to corner him, putting Kaiji's cheating strategy under immense pressure. Kaiji's eventual acceptance of these terms revealed how much he was driven by desperation. He was eager to use his elaborate preparations and decoys to snatch a victory in this rigged game. Yet blinded by the chairman's ruthlessness, he failed to realize that he had already walked straight into the enemy's trap.